Hi friends, my name is Maruti and I'm the co-founder of Kraku. In this video, we'll be looking at the quant solutions for Slot-2 of CAT 2023. So try to answer the question on your own. If you're not able to get it, then look at the video solution. If you're facing any difficulty in understanding any one of the solutions, please do leave a comment below the video. I read all the comments and I'll try to answer your doubts to the best of my abilities. In this question, we are told that A, B, M and N are natural numbers such that A is greater than 1, B is greater than 1 and A to the power M into B to the power N is 144 to the power 145. We are asked to calculate the largest possible value of N minus M. What is 144? 144 is 16 into 9, which is 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. This is the value of 144. So 144 to the power 145 is equal to 2 to the power 580 into 3 to the power 290. So A to the power M into B to the power N is equal to 2 to the power 580 into 3 to the power 290. We are asked to maximize the value of N minus M. So we want the maximum value of N and we want the minimum value of M. What is the maximum value of N? The maximum value of N is 580. This will happen when B is 2. And what is the minimum value of M? The minimum value of M will be equal to 1 and this will happen when A is equal to 3 to the power 290. Therefore, the maximum value of N minus M will be 580 minus 1, which is equal to 579. In this particular case, what we are saying is A to the power M into B to the power N will be 3 to the power 290, which is the value of A, whole to the power 1 into 2 to the power 580. This is the value of A, this is the value of B, this will be the value of N, this will be the value of M. So the maximum value of N minus M will be 579, which is option D. In this question, we are asked to calculate any non-zero numbers x and y such that y is not equal to 3 and x by y is less than x plus 3 divided by y minus 3. We are required to calculate what condition is satisfied if this is the case. In this kind of question, we don't cross multiply, because if you're told that x by y is less than x plus 3 divided by y minus 3, why don't we just cross multiply? We won't cross multiply because we don't know the sign of y. Is y greater than 0 or is y less than 0? We don't know that. Similarly, we don't know the sign of y minus 3. So if you are multiplying both the sides of the inequality with a negative number, the sign of the inequality will change. That is, if you are told that x is greater than y, if you are multiplying both sides with minus 1, minus x will be less than minus y. So here we don't know the sign of y and y minus 3, so we can't cross multiply. But what we can do is, we can bring it to the other side of the inequality. So we have x by y minus x plus 3 divided by y minus 3 to be less than 0. Now if you take the denominator, common denominator as y into y minus 3, this will be xy minus 3x minus xy minus 3y is less than 0. Or essentially what we have is minus of 3 times x plus y divided by y into y minus 3 is less than 0. Now we can multiply both sides with minus 1. Like we discussed earlier, if you are multiplying both sides with minus 1, the sign of the inequality will change. So here 3 times x plus y will be greater than 0. Now divide both sides with 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is a positive number, so the sign of the inequality will not change. So essentially what we have is that x plus y divided by y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. Now you can multiply the numerator, the left hand side and the right hand side with y into y minus 3 whole square. Y into y minus 3 whole square is greater than 0. So essentially what we have is that x plus y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. This is the inequality that we have based on this inequality. Just by simplifying it and removing the denominators, we are going to get this inequality. So let us draw a number line. This is when y is equal to 0, this is when y is equal to 3. Let me actually clean this up so that we have space. What we essentially have is x plus y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. Now if you are drawing the number line on y, this is when y is equal to 0. This is when y is equal to 3. When y is less than 0 over here, y into y minus 3 will be positive. When y lies between 0 and 3, y into y minus 3 is less than 0. When y is greater than 3, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. We want x plus y into y minus 3 to be greater than 0. Over here, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. So we want x plus y to be greater than 0. Or we want y to be greater than minus 6. Here, y into y minus 3 is less than 0. So we want x plus y to be less than 0. Therefore, y has to be less than minus 6. Here again, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. So x plus y has to be greater than 0, or y has to be greater than minus 6. But if you're looking at the options, x by y is less than y by x is immaterial. We can't really say anything about x by y. So this is not the answer. If y is less than 0, that is in this segment, minus x is less than y. This is actually true. This is the same as y is greater than minus 6. If y is greater than 10, that is somewhere over here, minus x is greater than y. Over here, minus x is actually less than y, and this is true when y is greater than 3. So this is actually false. If x is less than 0, minus x is less than y. Again, we can't say anything about the value of x. We can clearly say something about the value of y. So essentially, the only option that is correct is option B. In this question, we are told that for any natural number m, n and k divides both m plus 2n and 3m plus 4n. Then k must be a common divisor of. Let us assume that m plus 2n is equal to some natural number p into k. And let 3m plus 4n be equal to another natural number q into k. Now if you multiply this one with 2, we are going to get 2m plus 4n is equal to 2pk. Or the value of m is equal to q minus 2p into k. Q minus 2p will be some other natural number. This would imply that k has to be a divisor of m. Let us try to calculate the value of n. If you're looking at the value of n, let us multiply this one with 3. So we are going to get 3m plus 6n is equal to 3pk, and this one is 3m plus 4n is equal to qk. If you subtract one from the other, we are going to get 2n is equal to 3p minus q into k. So again, we can say that k is also a divisor of 2n. We can't say that k is a divisor of n, but we know that k will divide 2n. So we can say for sure that k has to be a common divisor of both m and 2n, which is option C. In this question, we are asked to calculate the sum of all the values of x which satisfy the equation 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 to the power x square plus x plus 16 plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30 is equal to 0. If you are looking at it, you should understand that we have to factorize this. Why should we factorize this? Because if you are looking at the middle term is 2 to the power 2x square plus x plus 16. This is 2x plus 30, which is basically 2 times x plus 15. And this is 4x square. 4x square is 2 times 2x square. So what we'll do is we'll essentially write this as 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 times 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15. This is basically just the middle term. We are just trying to separate it so that we can factorize it. Plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30. This is equal to 0. 2 to the power 4x square is basically 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power 2x square. That is the value of 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15 minus 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15. We have just written this number twice because we have 2 times that. Notice that this is x plus 16, which we have written, we have brought in 1, 2 out of the exponent, plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30. This is equal to 0. Now, if you are taking 2 to the power 2x square common from the first two terms, this is 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 minus 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15. This is equal to 0. Why is that the case? Because the last term 2 to the power 2x plus 30 we can write as 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power x plus 15. This is equal to 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 is equal to 0. This is basically 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 whole square is equal to 0. Or we want 2x square to be equal to x plus 15 because we want this to be equal to 0. So the power of the exponents has to be the same. This is a quadratic equation which we can factorize. This is 2x square minus 6x plus 5x minus 15 is equal to 0. Or this is 2x minus 5 into x minus 3 is equal to 0. So the two values of x which satisfy this given equation are either x is equal to 3 or it is equal to, this is 2x plus 5 or minus 5 by 2. So the sum of these two will be 1 by 2, which is option D. In this question, we are asked to calculate the number of positive integers which are less than 50, having exactly two distinct factors other than 1 and itself. So if you are assuming that this number is n, we are looking for all the values of n which are less than 50, which are of the form that it has a total of 4 factors. One of them is 1, one of them is n, and we have a and b over here, which are in the middle. The first thing it will tell you is that a into b has to be equal to n. Now, are a and b prime numbers? One thing we can say is that a has to be a prime number. This number over here has to be a prime number, because if it is a composite number, there should be some factor which lies between 1 and a. So the smallest factor other than 1 of any number will be a prime number. So a over here is definitely a prime number. What about b? Now b has to be either a square or b has to be another prime number. Let us look at both the cases. First, we are looking at the case where b is a square. So basically the number n is of the form 1, a prime number p, the square of a prime number p square, and this number will be p cube. So you will have two such numbers which are less than 50. What are those two numbers? They are 1, 2, 2 square and 2 cube. This is 8. Or 1, 3, 3 square and 3 cube, which is 27. The next number will be 1, 5, 5 square and 5 cube, which is 125, which is greater than 50. So this is not allowed. These two are allowed. In the second case, we are assuming that b is a prime number. So basically we have 1, we have a prime number p, p1 say, and we have another prime number p2, and we have n. And the value of n is one prime number p1 into another prime number p2. What are all the cases that are possible? Over here there is no easy way to do it. We have to just manually enumerate it. We will first assume that p1 is equal to 2. Then p2 will be either 3 or 5 or 7 or 11 or 13 or 17 or 19 or 23. In this case, the value of n in the first case will be 6, 10, 14, 22, 26, 34, 38 and 46. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 cases over here. What will happen when p1 is 3? So we have 1, we have p1 which is 3, and we are looking for another prime number p2. p2 will be either 5 or 7 or 11 or 13. Once it becomes 17, 3 into 17 will be 51, which is greater than 50. So here we are going to get 15, 21, 33 and 39. So here we have 4 cases. What will happen when p1 is 5? So we have 1, 5 and the second prime number p2 has to be 7. The next prime number is 11, 5 into 11 is 55, which is greater than 50. So this will be 35. So the value that n will take is 35. If the first prime number is 7 and the second prime number is 11, the product itself is 77. So this can be cancelled. So the total number of values is 2 over here. This is if n is of the form p cube. So we have the 4 factors as 1, p square and p cube. We have 2 such cases. Or we will have 8 cases where the first prime number is 2 and the second prime number will be any one of them. This is 8 cases. We have 4 cases where the first prime number is 3 and the second prime number is either 5 or 7 or 11 or 13. And the last case is the first prime number is 5 and the second prime number is 7. So the total is 2 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1, which is equal to 15. This involves a lot of enumeration, but that is the only way to solve this question. In this question, we are told that log x to the base root 3 plus log of 25 to the base x divided by log of 0.008 to the base x is 16 by 3. We are asked to calculate the value of log of 3x square to the base 3. Now, let us first calculate the second term of the equation. Log of 25 to the base x divided by log of 0.008 to the base x is equal to log of 25 to the base 0.008. But what is 0.008? 0.008 is 8 divided by 1000, which is equal to 1 by 125. 125 is 5 cubed, so this is equal to 5 to the power minus 3. So this is essentially equal to log of 5 square, which is 25, to the base 5 to the power minus 3. This is equal to minus 2 by 3. So the equation that we have is equal to log of x to the base root 3 minus 2 by 3 is equal to 16 by 3. If you take it to the right hand side, this is 16 plus 2 divided by 3, which is equal to 18 by 3, which is 6. So log of x to the base root 3 is equal to 6, or x is equal to root 3 to the power 6, which is equal to 3 cubed, which is 27. So what is the value of log of 3x square to the base 3? That will be log of 3 times x square, which is 27 square, which is 3 to the power 6 to the base 3, which is log of 3 to the power 7 to the base 3, which is equal to 7. So the answer for this question is 7. In this question, we are told that k is the largest integer such that x minus 1 whole square plus 2kx plus 11 has no real roots. Let us first convert this into a normal quadratic equation. A normal quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And a normal quadratic equation has a discriminant d, which is equal to b square minus 4ac. If d is less than 0, it has no real roots. If d is equal to 0, it has two equal roots, that is both the roots are real and equal to each other. It is basically a perfect square, which is of the form x minus a whole square is equal to 0. If d is greater than 0, it will have two distinct real roots. So converting this into a traditional equation of quadratic equation, this will be x square minus 2x plus 1 plus 2kx plus 11 is equal to 0. This is of the form x square plus x into 2k minus 2 plus 12 is equal to 0. This is the value of the coefficient of x, this is the constant term, and the coefficient of x square is 1. So we want d or the discriminant to be less than 0 because we want this to have no real roots. So 2k minus 2 whole square should be less than 4 into 12, or k minus 1 whole square should be less than 12. So k minus 1 should lie between square root of 12 and minus square root of 12, or k has to lie between square root of 12 plus 1 or 1 minus square root of 12. We are looking for the largest integer for which this is true. So the largest integer is square root of 12 will be approximately 3.5. 3.5 plus 1 is 4.5. So k has to be less than 4.5. So the largest integer for which this is true is 4. So the value of k is 4. We are required to calculate the least possible value of k by 4y plus 9y, which is equal to 4 divided by 4y plus 9y. Or we are required to calculate the least possible value of 9y plus 1 by 9y, where y is a positive real number. We will apply the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean. So this divided by 2 is greater than or equal to square root of 9y into 1 by y. This is square root of 9, which is 3. So 9y plus 1 by y divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 3. So 9y plus 1 by y is greater than or equal to 6. So the least possible value of this expression is 6.
Google search Crapo free CAT mock. Click on the first link. You can attempt a free mock test which was attempted by 30,000 CAT aspirants in the actual exam format. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis, and percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your All India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
In this question, we are told that there are three pipes A, B, and C. A and C are fill pipes. B is an emptying pipe. B takes 1 hour less than A to empty the tank that A takes to fill the tank. So if you assume that A takes T hours to fill the tank, B will be taking T minus 1 hours to empty the tank. If you assume that the volume of the tank is V, in 1 hour, the amount of water that is filled into the tank by A will be V by T. The amount of water emptied by B will be V by T minus 1. We are told that if A, B and C work together, they can fill the tank in 2 hours. If you assume that C fills C liters every hour, V by T minus V by T minus 1 plus C is equal to V by 2. Because in 2 hours, they fill the entire tank whose volume is V. So here we can calculate the value of C. So C is equal to V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. We are just simplifying this equation. The value of C will be equal to V by 2 plus V divided by T into T minus 1. That is the amount of water filled by C in 1 hour. What we are now told is that if B and C are opened and B is shut off after 1 hour, C will take another 1 hour 15 minutes to fill the tank. So what is the total time that B is open? Total time B is open is 1 hour. So that is minus V by T minus 1. What is the total time that C is open? C is open for a total of the initial first 1 hour along with B, and after that 1 hour and 15 minutes. So total it is open for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is 9 by 4 hours. Into V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. This is equal to the volume of the tank. Using this equation, we can actually calculate the value of T. That is what we are required to do. So if you are simplifying this, minus V by T minus 1 plus 9V by 8 plus 9V by 4 times T into T minus 1 is equal to V, or this is equal to V by 8. You can cancel V from the entire equation. So the equation that you have is 9 by 4 into T minus 1 plus 1 by 8 is equal to 1 by T minus 1. You can multiply the entire equation with 8. So this will be 18 divided by T into T minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 8 by T minus 1. Or we can now multiply the entire equation with T into T minus 1. So we are going to get 18 plus T square minus T is equal to 80. Or T square minus 9T plus 18 is equal to 0. This can be factorized. The value of T is either 6 or T is equal to 3. We are told that the time taken by A to fill the empty tank is less than 5. So it cannot be 6. So the value of T is 3. So how much time is taken by C to fill an empty tank? What is the amount of water that is filled by C in 1 hour? That is V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. The value of T is 3. So the amount of water filled is V by 2 plus V by 2 into 3, which is V by 6. V by 2 plus V by 6 is 2V by 3. This is the amount of water filled by C in 1 hour. So the time it takes to fill the entire tank is 3 by 2 hours, which is equal to 90 minutes, which is option A. In this question, we are told that Anil borrows 2 lakhs at a rate of interest of 8% per annum, but this is compounded half yearly. So if you have an amount principal, which is P, and the rate of interest is R% compounded annually, the total amount will be P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power N. But if this is compounded semi-annually, we have to divide the rate of interest by 2 and we have to multiply the time period with 2. So the total amount will be P into 1 plus R by 2 divided by 100 whole to the power 2N. In this particular case, the principal is 2 lakhs. So this is 2 lakhs into 1.04 whole square. This is the total amount that he will receive at the end of 1 year. This is the amount that he should repay at the end of 1 year. This, if you calculate, will be equal to 2 lakhs into 1.0816. This is equal to 2 lakhs 16,320. Out of this, he repays 10,320. So the amount that is outstanding, this will be 0, 0, 0, this is 6, 0. The amount outstanding is 2 lakhs and 6,000. The rate of interest continues to be 8% per year, compounded semi-annually, and there are 2 more years left because he closes this at the end of the 3rd year. After 1 year, we have calculated the amount outstanding. So now 2 years are left. So the total amount outstanding is into 1.04 whole to the power 4. This is equal to 2,40,991. This is the total amount that he repays. So what is the total amount he repays? He repays this at the end of the 3rd year, and in the middle at the end of the 2nd year, he repays 10,320. So the total amount he repays will be 2,40,991 plus 10,320, which is equal to, this is 1, 3, 1, 5 and 2. So the total amount he repaid is 2,51,311. What is the total amount that he borrowed? The total amount he borrowed is 2 lakhs. So what is the interest that he repaid? The interest he repaid is 51,311, which is option B. In this question, we are told that Ravi is driving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour on a road. So this is Ravi. He is driving at 40 kilometers per hour. Vijay is behind him. Vijay is 54 meters behind Ravi. Let us assume that he is going at V kilometers per hour towards Ravi. Ashok is driving in the same road in the opposite direction. Ashok is going this side at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour. And the initial distance between Ashok and Ravi is 225 meters. We want the 3 of them to meet at the same point at the same time. So what should the speed of Vijay be? So at this standpoint, Ravi and Ashok are 225 meters away. So what is the time taken by them to actually meet? The time taken by them is 225 meters, which is 0.225 kilometers, divided by their relative speed, which is 40 plus 50, because they are traveling in the opposite directions, which is 90. So after this many hours, they would meet. In this many hours, you want Vijay and Ravi to also meet. What is the distance between them? It is 54 meters. So this has to equal 54, that is 0.054 kilometers, divided by what is the relative speed of Vijay and Ravi? It is V minus 40. If you solve this equation, we are going to get the value of V. 0.025 divided by 90, this will be 1 by 400. Because 0.225 into 400 is equal to 90. So the value of V minus 40 is equal to 0.054 into 400. This is equal to 0.54 into 40, which is 21.6. So the value of V is equal to 61.6 kilometers per hour. That should be the speed of Vijay, which is option C. In this question, we are told that Minu purchases sunglasses at rupees 1000. So Minu purchases sunglasses at rupees 1000. So the cost price is rupees 1000, and she sells it to Kanu at a profit of 20%, and she is selling it to Kanu at 20% profit. So that is 1200. From the standpoint of Kanu, the cost price is rupees 1200, and she sells it back to Minu at a 20% loss, and the selling price will be 0.8 into 1200, which is equal to rupees 960. This is the selling price. Now the second cost price for Minu will be 960. Finally, Minu sells the same pair of sunglasses to Tanu. Let us assume that the selling price, the second selling price, is rupees X. And the total profit made by Minu from all her transactions is 500. In the two transactions, what is the total cost price? The total cost price is 1000 plus 1960, 1000 plus 960, which is 1960. And the total selling price is 1200 plus X. So 1200 plus X minus 1960 is equal to 500, or the value of X is 1260. So basically the price at which she sold it the second time is rupees 1260. The second time she bought it at 960. So the profit is equal to 300, and the profit percentage is equal to 300 divided by 960 into 100. You can simplify this. This will be equal to 31.25%, which is option C. In this question, we are told that the price of a precious stone is directly proportional to the square of its weight. Initially, a precious stone was bought which was weighing 18 units. So let us assume that the price of a stone is of the form a constant K into the square of its weight, which is W square. So when the weight is 18 units, the price of the stone will be P is equal to K into 18 square, which is 324K. Now this stone was broken into 4 parts. Let us assume that the weights of the 4 parts are A, B, C and D. This will sum up to 18. And the price of this stone will be, price of the sum of the 4 stones will be K into A square plus B square plus C square plus D square. We are not given the value of A, B, C, D, but we have been told that A, B, C and D are distinct integer weights. So all of them are integers and all of them are distinct. We are given the difference between the highest possible and lowest possible value of the total price. That is, we will have to first calculate the highest possible value of this. Then we have to calculate the lowest possible value of it and find the difference between them to get the value of K. What is the highest possible value of A square plus B square plus C square plus D square? The highest possible value will be there when all of them are as far apart from each other as possible. Essentially, the maximum should be as high as possible. So this would essentially be 15, 1, 1 and 1. But this won't exist because we are told that all of them are distinct integer weights. Here we are getting 3 ones consecutively. So to get the highest possible sum of the squares, again we will make the maximum number to be as high as possible. But the minimum 3 numbers will be 1, 2 and 3, which will total up to 6. So the fourth number has to be 12. Because the total weight is 18, and the sum of A square plus B square plus C square plus D square will be K into 12 square plus 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, which is equal to K into 144 plus 1 plus 4 plus 9, which is equal to 158K. This is the maximum possible value of the sum of the squares. What is the minimum possible value? The minimum possible value will occur when all of them are close to each other. We should not have any number which is very high, like in this case. So all of them should be 4.5, 4.5, 4.5 and 4.5 because the total is 18 and each one of them will be 18 by 4. But again, all of them have to be integers and all of them have to be distinct. So the best way in which we can keep them as close to each other as possible is if they are 3, 4, 5 and 6. And the sum of the squares will be K into 3 square is 9 plus 4 square is 16 plus 5 square is 25 plus 6 square is 36. This is equal to 86K. This is the minimum possible value of the sum of the squares. The difference between these two is 72K. This we are told is 2,88,000, or the value of K is equal to 4,000. What is the price of the original stone? The price of the original stone is 324K. So the price of the original stone will be 324 into 4,000, which is equal to 1296000, which is option D. In this question, we are told that in a company, 20% of the employees work in manufacturing department. So let us assume that the total employees is 100. So manufacturing is 20, non-manufacturing will be 80. Let us assume that the average salary of manufacturing employees is M and average salary of non-manufacturing employees is N. So what is the total salary of all the employees? It is 20M plus 80N. This we are told is 6 times the total salary of the manufacturing employees, which is into 20M, or 20M plus 80N is equal to 120M, or 80N is equal to 100M. So the ratio of M by N is equal to 80 by 100, which is equal to 4 by 5. So the answer for this question is option B. In this question, we are told that there is a certain amount of money. When it is divided equal among n people, everyone receives 352 rupees. So the total money that is there is equal to 352n. Now out of these 2 people, if they receive 506 each, what is the remaining money? The remaining money is equal to 352n minus 2 times 506, which is equal to 352n minus 1012. So what is the average money received by the remaining n minus 2 people? That will be 352n minus 1012 divided by n minus 2. This we are told is less than or equal to 330. This is what we are told. So now if you cross multiply 352n minus 1012 is less than or equal to 330n minus 660, or the value of 22n is less than or equal to 352, or the value of n is less than or equal to 16. So the maximum possible value of n is equal to 16.
We at Kraku provide all the previous year CAT papers along with many other MBA examinations such as XAT, SNAP, MAT, CMAT, TIS and PGDBA in the actual exam format. You can attempt them as a test and get a detailed analysis of your performance or download them as PDFs.
In this question, we are told that Jane bought a certain number of white t-shirts at 1000 per piece and a certain number of blue shirts at 1125 per piece. So let us assume that he bought W white shirts for 1000 rupees a piece and he bought B blue shirts at 1125 per piece. So what is the average cost per shirt? If you assume that the average cost per shirt is A, this is equal to 1000 W plus 1125 B divided by B plus W. Now he marked up the average price by 25%. So the marked price is 1.25A and then gave a discount of 10%. So the selling price is 1.25A into 0.9. This will be equal to 1.125A, or simply this is 9 by 8A. Now he sold all the t-shirts. What is the total number of t-shirts? That will be B plus W. So what is the profit that he made? This is the average selling price. This is the average cost price. So by selling one t-shirt, the average profit he makes is 0.125A. This is the profit, which is basically equal to A by 8. So the total profit that he made will be A by 8 into B plus W, which is the total number of shirts. But we know that B plus W is the total number of shirts and the value of A is this. So the total profit that he made will be equal to 1000 W plus 1125 B divided by 8. Now let B plus W be equal to N, which is the total number of shirts that he bought, which is the total number of blue shirts plus the total number of white shirts. So this is equal to 1000 into N plus 125 B divided by 8. Why is that the case? Because 1000 W plus 1125 B can be written as 1000 W plus 1000 B plus 125 B. This is equal to 1000 N plus 125 B. This we are told is equal to 51,000. Or the value of 1000 N plus 125 B is equal to 51,000 into 8, which is 4,08,000. If you divide the entire equation with 1000, N is equal to 408 minus B by 8. So the maximum possible value of N, because W is greater than 0, B is greater than 0, we are told that he bought both colors of t-shirts. So B cannot be equal to 0 and we want both of them to be a natural number. This would imply that the maximum possible value of N will be equal to 407. This will happen when B is equal to 8 and W will be equal to 399. In this case, N will be 408 minus 1, which is equal to 407. That will be the answer. In this question, we are told that there is a container which has 40 liters of milk. First 4 liters is removed from the container and replaced with water. Then another 4 liters is replaced, liquid is replaced from the container with water, and so on. This continues. Now we know that initially this is 40 ml of milk. Now 4 ml is removed and replaced with water. So the percentage of milk becomes 0.9 into 100, which is 90%. Once this process is repeated 2 times, the percentage or the fraction of milk becomes 0.9 whole square. Once this is repeated 3 times, it becomes 0.9 whole cube. Basically, if you have any container and if say the percentage or the fraction of milk is say F at the start. If the total volume is V and say X amount of the liquid is removed and replaced with water, the fraction of milk becomes equal to F into V minus X divided by V, where F is the initial fraction of milk, X is the amount that is replaced with water. It is fairly simple. So over here essentially what we are saying is initially it was 100%. So initially this is 1 into, out of 40 liters we have replaced 4. So this is 40 minus 4 divided by 40. So this becomes 0.9. After the first replacement we have the fraction as 0.9, and then again the same fraction or the same constant is used, 40 minus 4 divided by 4 divided by 40. So this becomes 0.9 whole square. Essentially remember that if you have a volume, a bucket of volume V, and X is being replaced every time, then the constant is V minus X divided by V. Initially if the fraction, if it is 100% pure milk, this fraction will become equal to 1. But initially if it is not equal to 1, if it is 60% or 70%, you have to put that initially. Over here initially it is all milk, so it is 1, and this fraction V minus X divided by V is 0.9. So after the first time it is 0.9, after the second time it is 0.9 whole square, after the third time it is 0.9 whole cube, and so on. We are required to calculate the smallest number of times. We have to repeat this process so that the volume of milk in the container is less than that of water, or essentially we want this percentage to be less than 50%. When does this happen? When n is 1, it is 0.9. When n is 2, it is 0.81. When n is 3, it is 0.729. When n is 4, it is 0.6561. When n is 5, it will be approximately 0.59. When n is 6, it is approximately 0.53. When n is 7, for the first time, this will drop below 50%. When n is 7, 0.9 to the power 7, you can calculate, will be approximately 0.48. If you are wondering how you can do it easily, you would know 0.9, 0.81 and 0.729, the first 3 powers of 0.9. 0.729 whole square will be equal to 0.9 to the power 6. You can calculate 0.729 whole square, this will be approximately 0.53. Now just multiply this with 0.9, and even if you are not able to calculate it exactly, you can approximate that 53 into 9 will be approximately 480, because 50 into 9 is 450, 3 into 9 is 27, so this will be approximately 477. So using that also you can figure out that the answer will be equal to 7. In this question we are told that there is a triangle which is drawn such that the vertices of the triangle are on a circle C. So let us assume that this is how the circle is, and this is how the triangle is. One of the sides of the triangle is the diameter. Let us assume that this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now, if this is the diameter, we know that angle C has to be 90 degrees. Why is that the case? Because the angle subtended by a diameter on the circumference of a circle is always 90 degrees. So, once this is 90 degrees, we are told that the remaining two sides are in the ratio of A is to B. So let this be equal to A into K for some constant K. This will be B into K. Therefore, the length of the hypotenuse AB will be K into square root of A square plus B square. But we are told that the radius of the circle is R. So 2 times R, which is the diameter, is equal to K into square root of A square plus B square. So now we can actually calculate the value of K. K is equal to 2R divided by square root of A square plus B square. What is the area of this triangle? The area of the triangle is half into side AC, which is equal to AK, into side BC, which is equal to BK. So the area of the triangle is AB by 2 into K square, which is equal to AB by 2 into 4R square divided by A square plus B square. This is equal to 2AB R square divided by A square plus B square, which is option B. In this question, we are told that there is a rectangle ABCD where AB is 9 centimeters, BC is 6 centimeters. So let us assume that this is how the rectangle is. This is A, B, C and D. AB is 9 centimeters, BC is 6 centimeters. There are 2 points on BC such that the areas of the figures ABP, APQ and AQCD are in a geometric progression. So let us assume that this is ABP, this is APQ and the remaining one is AQCD. This is P, this is Q. We are told that the area of the figure AQCD is 4 times the area of triangle ABP. So if you assume that the area of triangle ABP is A, the area of the quadrilateral AQCD is 4A, and because the three figures are in geometric progression, this has to be 2A. That is, the area of APQ has to be 2A, because APQ, ABP, APQ and AQCD are in a geometric progression. If this is A and if this is 4A, the middle term has to be 2A. Once you get this idea, we are asked to calculate the ratio of BP is to PQ is to QC. What we do know is that the total area of the rectangle is 9 into 6, which is 54. So 4A plus 2A plus A, which is 7A, is equal to 54, or the value of A is equal to 54 by 7. So we can calculate the length of BP. Half into BP into 9 is equal to 54 by 7. This is 6, or the value of BP is equal to 12 by 7. So this is 12 by 7. Similarly, the length of PQ will be twice that, which is equal to 24 by 7. We know that the overall length of BC is 6 units. The length of PQ plus PB is 24 by 7 plus 12 by 7, which is equal to 36 by 7. So this will be 6 by 7. This would tell us that the required ratio of BP is to PQ is to QC will be 12 is to 24 is to 6, which is equal to 2 is to 4 is to 1. So the answer for this question is option C. In this question, we are asked to calculate the area of the quadrilateral bounded by the y-axis, the line x is equal to 5, and the lines modulus of x minus y minus modulus of x minus y, modulus of x minus y minus modulus of x minus y is equal to 2. Let us first draw the y-axis, the x-axis, and the line x is equal to 5. This is how the line x is equal to 5 looks like. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the line x is equal to 5. This point over here will be 5, 0. Now, because we are looking for the quadrilateral which is bounded by the y-axis, which is this line, the line x is equal to 5. In this equation, essentially we are looking for all the values of x which lie between 0 and 5. So over here, the value of modulus of x minus 5 will be equal to 5 minus x, because we are looking for the values of x which lie between these two lines. So the equation becomes equal to modulus of x minus y minus 5 plus x is equal to 2, or we are looking for modulus of x minus y is equal to 7 minus x. Now again, there are two cases. In the first case, y is greater than x. If y is greater than x, the value of modulus of x minus y will be equal to y minus x. So y minus x is equal to 7 minus x, or the value of y is equal to 7. This is one line. This is when x is greater than y. When y is less than x, modulus of x minus y will be x minus y. This is equal to 7 minus x, or the equation of the line is that y is equal to 2x minus 7. So let us first draw the equation of the line x is equal to y. X is equal to y will look something like this. It will go through the origin. This is x is equal to y. When the point is greater than x is equal to y, that will be y is greater than x. Here the equation of the line is y is equal to 7. So this is how y is equal to 7 looks like. This is y is equal to 7. Below this line, x is equal to y will be less than x. Here the equation of the line is y is 2x minus 7. When the value of x is 0, that is on y-axis, this will be minus 7 over here, and it will look something like this. This point over here, this equation is y is equal to 2x minus 7. This equation. This is y is equal to 7. This one. Separating both of them is the line x is equal to y. Now, what are the vertices of this quadrilateral? If we can find out the vertices of this quadrilateral, we can easily calculate its area. First of all, we know that this is a trapezium because this line, that is the y-axis, is parallel to the line x is equal to 5. So we need to calculate the vertices to answer this question faster. This line over here is y is equal to 7. So this point over here will be 0, 7. This point over here will be 5, 7. This point over here is the intersection of y-axis and y is equal to 2x minus 7. On the y-axis, the value of x is 0. So this will be equal to 0, minus 7. This point over here is the intersection of the line y is equal to 2x minus 7 and x is equal to 5. So the x coordinate will be 5 and the y coordinate will be 2 into 5 minus 7, which is 10 minus 7, which is 3. In this trapezium, this side's length is 7 minus of minus 7, which is 14 units. This side's length is 7 minus 3, which is 4 units. And the distance between the parallel lines is 5 units. Therefore, the area of this trapezium is half into sum of the parallel sides, which is 14 plus 4, into the area between them, into the length of the distance between them, which is 5. This is equal to 9 into 5, which is equal to 45 square units. So the answer for this question is 45. In this question, we are told that there are two series A1, A2, A3 dot 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 and B1, B2, B3 dot 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 dot. Both of them are in arithmetic progression and the common difference for both the series are prime numbers. We are told that A5 is equal to B9, A19 is equal to B19. We are told that B2 is equal to 0. We are required to calculate the value of A11. So let us assume that the common difference of the first one is say P1, which is a prime number. And the common difference of the second arithmetic progression is say P2, which is also a prime number. We are told that A5 is equal to B9. What is the value of A5? That will be A1 plus 4P1 is equal to B9, which is equal to B1 plus 8P2. Because the common difference for the second one is P2, the common difference for the first series is P1. We know that B2 is equal to 0. So this would imply that B1 plus P2 is equal to 0. So B1 plus 8P2 is equal to 7P2. What is the second one? We have this information that A19 plus is equal to B19. What is the value of A19? That will be A1 plus 18P1 is equal to B1 plus 18P2, which is essentially equal to 17P2. Why is that the case? Because B1 plus P2 is equal to 0. The second term of the second arithmetic progression B2 is equal to 0. Now using these two equations, if you subtract one equation from the other, the left hand side will be 14P1. This is equal to 10P2, or the value of 7P1 is equal to 5P2. What are P1 and P2? P1 and P2 are prime numbers. The only way this equation will hold is if P1 is equal to 5 and P2 is equal to 7. Now once you know that P1 is equal to 5 and P2 is equal to 7, we can calculate the value of B1. B1 will be equal to minus 7 because you want B1 plus P2 to be equal to 0. So what is the value of A1 plus 4P1, which is equal to 7P2? A1 plus 4 times 5, which is 20, is equal to 7P2, which is 7 into 7, which is 49. Or A1 is equal to 29. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the value of A11. A11 is equal to A1 plus 10P1. A1 is 29. 10P1 will be 50. So this is equal to 79. So the answer for this question is option B. In this question, we are given two equations. We are told that P square plus Q square minus 29 is equal to 2PQ minus 20, which also is equal to 52 minus 2PQ. We are asked to calculate the difference between the maximum and minimum possible value of P cube minus Q cube. What is the value of P cube minus Q cube? This is equal to, if you factorize it, P minus Q into P square plus PQ plus Q square. Now from the second part of the equation, we can figure out that the value of 4PQ is equal to 72, or the value of P into Q is equal to 18. From the first part of this equation, we can figure out that P square minus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 29 minus 20, which is 9, or the value of P minus Q whole square is equal to 9. So the value of P minus Q is either equal to 3 or the value of P minus Q is equal to minus 3. But from P square minus 2PQ plus Q square and from PQ is equal to 18, you can actually calculate the value of P square plus PQ plus Q square. How can we calculate it? Because if you add P square minus 2PQ plus Q square plus 3 times PQ, what you're essentially going to get is P square plus PQ plus Q square. This is equal to 9 plus, that is this one, 3 times 18. 3 times 18 is 54 plus 9 is 63. So the value of this one is 63. P square plus PQ plus Q square is equal to 63. P minus Q is either equal to plus 3 or it is equal to minus 3. So the value of P cube minus Q cube is either equal to 189, which is 3 into 63, or it is equal to minus 189. It is either minus 189 or it is 189. The difference between these two is equal to 378. So the answer for this question is option C.
Google search Krakow CAT formulas PDF. Click on the first link. You will get a list of topics for CAT. Click on one of the topics. Download the PDF to get a list of formulas for the topic.
In this question, we are given two sequences. One sequence is AN, which is 13, 19, 25, 31, 37, 43, 49, and so on. The other one, the first term is 15 and the common difference is 7. So it is 15, 22, 29, 36, 43, 50, and so on. We are required to calculate the largest 3-digit number which is common to both the sequences. In order to figure out the terms which are common to both the sequences, we have to first identify the first common term. In this case, the first common term is 43. And the common terms also form an arithmetic progression where the first term is 43 and the common difference is the least common multiple of 6 and 7. Because here the common difference is 6. Here the common difference is 7. So the common difference of the common terms will be 42. So this is 43 plus 42, which is equal to 85. The next one will be 85 plus 42, which is 127. Next will be 127 plus 42, which is 169, and so on. So we want the largest 3-digit number which is part of the common terms. So that will be 43 plus 42D. This has to be less than or equal to 999. Or 42D has to be less than or equal to 956. D therefore has to be, this is 840 is 42 into 20. Then you add another 42, you have 882. You add another 42, you have 924. You add another 42, you get 966. This is greater than 956. So the largest value of 42D will be 24. In this particular case, D will be equal to 22. And therefore the largest common term for both the sequences will be 43 plus 42D, which is 43 plus 924, which is equal to 967. So the answer for this question is 967.